cosmic spark struck by human hands quickly raged out of control. Spears of nuclear fire rained from the skies. Continents were swallowed in flames and fell beneath the boiling oceans. Humanity was almost extinguished, their spirits becoming part of the background radiation that blanketed the Earth. A quiet darkness fell across the planet.
Hey guys, and welcome to part 6 of Fallout History and Lore. My name's Captain Jack, host of the channel TheXPGamers, where we support the modding community. In the last episode of History and Lore, we looked at some of the lesser known games in the Fallout franchise. In this episode, we're going to look at one of the most well-known games of the past decade, Fallout 3. By 1998, Intraplay, the minds behind Fallout 1 and 2, had gone public and had started to suffer losses. By 2001, French publisher Titus, best known for the horrendous game Superman 64, picked up the majority stake in Intraplay, effectively taking control of the company. The CEO of Titus, Herve Cian, began to change how Intraplay operated and eventually drove off the CEO and creator of Fallout, Brian Fargo. Eventually, Intraplay shares dropped so low it was taken off the NASDAQ. Black Isle Studios, a subset of Intraplay Entertainment, was given the chance to work on a project codenamed Van Buren, which was to be the next Fallout game, Fallout 3. Sadly, Intraplay laid off the dev team in December 2003, effectively canceling that game. This was heavy hitting to the hope for Fallout fans. We hadn't had a true Fallout RPG in years, and this one had all the marks of a great game. It had an interesting story, an amazing setting, and a well-known dev team. Fargus Erhardt, leader of Black Isle Studios, left to form a little company called Obsidian Entertainment, sealing the fate for the failing company Intraplay. Development in the last few months of Fallout 3 went on for a while after Erhardt's departure. With many devs defecting to Obsidian Entertainment, Titus eventually collapsed after the release of Fallout Tactics, and Intraplay's landlord served them with an eviction notice. In the coming years, the newly formed Obsidian Entertainment would release a little game known as Knights of the Republic 2, winning 37 Game of the Year awards. Oddly enough, Intraplay, still not completely dead, managed to put on a presentation in November 2006 for a Fallout MMO. They estimated a startup price tag of $75 million, but never hinted at how the game would be funded or how they would pay off the $10 million they were already owing creditors. Shopping for any type of funding, they found the RPG giant Bethesda Softworks, looking for a new IP. Having made a major impact on the industry with the game Morrowind in 2002, and being major fans of the Fallout series in general, the possibility of licensing the game came up in multiple brainstorming sessions. Licensing the IP from Intraplay for a low 6 figures, they immediately started work. Accelerating after 06's Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, 3 years later Bethesda would buy the IP outright in April 2007 for another $5.7 million. This licensed the MMO rights back to Intraplay as long as they released it within 2 years. Fallout 3 followed the foundations of Fallout 1 and 2, exploration, open world, expansive role-playing freedom, and a very dark humor that fits so well with the apocalyptic setting. Fallout 3 might not have been a top-down turn-based RPG, but it was a proper sequel to the eyes of long-term fans, giving the world a feel of deep nostalgia for the originals, yet adding much more immersion in the mix with a first-person shooter flavor and deep character development. Fallout 3 featured everything from degrading weapons needing repair to radio stations playing licensed tunes like I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. Popular, recognizable songs played one after another from artists like Cole Porter, Billie Holiday, and Ella Fitzgerald. Voice acting was a highlight of Fallout 3, featuring a great cast such as Liam Neeson, Ron Perlman, and Malcolm McDowell. Combat was changed to a first-person standard. Health was divided into your basic hit points mixed with limb damage. If a limb took too much damage, it would break and negatively affecting the player. An example would be your accuracy if you were to break your arm. You wouldn't be able to aim very well. Fallout 3 was one of the highest reviewed games of its time, with criticisms mainly focused on bugs and crashing issues. many of which have reflected off the PlayStation 3 version of the game, but all systems having some sort of bugs at one time or another. Reviewers loved its freedom in setting, most of all, the atmospheric mood of the game, winning a massive number of awards and Game of the Year for 2008. In 2012, Fallout 3 was also exhibition at the Smithsonian Art Institute of America. On top of all that, Bethesda had the good sense to release the GEC, a free editor for the PC version, allowing modders to take the game to new heights and customize every aspect of it, from textures to scripting and gameplay. My channel over at TheXPGamers is dedicated to this type of fan-made content and has a wide collection of videos showcasing the amazing talent of the modding community. I really recommend you guys head on over and check it out. In the next episode of Fallout 3, it's all about the story. What happened in the DC wasteland? Where does the story lead, and what happens to our new Vault Dweller? Well, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode of History and Lore.